Everybody. This is now the 19th and the day to make the draw for the Espelette, Espelette powder and seeds. Wish I had more to give away. I guess it's been quite a popular item. I don't think I ever had so many people asked to be put into the draw before. There are 48 names, which you should see to start scrolling up slowly over the top of me here, and we'll get around to doing the draw in just a few minutes. I've been debating whether or not I should start this video on a sad note, but I'm kind of sad, so I guess I will. I just back from the chicken coop and discovered that Ginger, my only Rhode Island Red chicken, passed away in the night, 4.5 years old. I guess people that don't have hens and consider them pets like I do probably wouldn't understand it. I don't know exactly what number I have now, probably close to 30, counting the hens and the roosters. And they all have their own individual personality, and Ginger was no exception. When they were younger, the only rooster that I had at the time was one that we call Prince Leah. He started life as Princess Leah until we found out he was a rooster. But I used to tease him. He was the only rooster, and I would reach down when I was in the coop, grab him, pick him up, and he'd do his all puffing up, looking at me like, how can you do that? I weigh 50 pounds. And the last time I ever did that, he was standing next to Ginger, and I reached down and grabbed him, was going to pick him up. Before I got my hands away, Ginger pecked the back of my hand in 3 places and had me bleeding in 3 places. I think what she was trying to say is, that's my rooster, you go get your own. Anyway, poor old Ginger passed away in the night. I don't know how long a hen should live. She was 4.5, which is, I think, a relatively good old age for a bird. She had some difficulty a few years ago with being egg bound, but she got over that, and I don't know what took her. She's just lying there dead this morning. Old age, I guess. But that's the sad note that I'm starting with here, as these names continue to scroll. Other than the draw, I'm doing a little bit more on the solar power, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. A couple of people, as I'll say in the coming clips here, very politely let me know that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I quite agree with them. The whole thing is a mystery to me, but I think I have proved that the solar panels are charging the battery even this time of year. Today is the 19th. I just learned on the radio this morning that the solstice officially is 48 seconds past midnight, the night of the 21st, so it's into the 22nd. 48 seconds into the 22nd is the official date time of the solstice. So after that, the sun will start back in the other direction. In a week or two, there will start to be a little more light. So anyway, I'm confident that it will do what I want it to do, run a couple of light bulbs for me all winter out there. And other than that, I have just something that I want to show you in the garden out there, the perennial fruit and vegetable garden. So let's get to work here and get this camera focused on my laptop and see who wins the Espelette and seeds. Well, I hope you can read those. That's all 48 names on a wheel that spins and selects the winner. So it's the most interesting of the random name pickers that I found online. So all 48 names that should be finishing scrolling up in front of you right here now are on there. So let's see who the winner is. Morris Starkey. And Morris is one of the last people to submit his name sometime yesterday. I think there's only been maybe 2 or 3 after Morris. So anyway, Morris, I will be contacting you to get a mailing address to send your Espelette and seeds to. And thank you for everybody who subscribed and got in on the draw here. As I said before, I wish I had more to give away. I will be offering the seeds early in the new year, and I'll probably offer 10 packages or more. So I don't know, do another one of these draws or just the first 10 that submit their address or something. But I have a number of seeds that I have saved, different heirloom and open pollinated varieties that you can save the seed from. So that will happen in the new year sometime. So Right now, let's go have a look at the other things that I mentioned earlier. Congratulations, Morris. Well, how is that for a strange looking garden bed? All put to bed, so to speak, for the winter. Not that anything here needs winter protection for the climate. Everything that's growing in this bed, this is my sort of perennial fruit area, everything that's growing here is very hardy for this zone. I'm in zone 5B, I guess. But my winter problem here is rodents of various kinds. Moles, voles, mice, and above all, the wild rabbits. The rabbits get hungry here in the winter like anything else, but tender plants like this sticking up above the snow are nibbled to the ground by them quite quickly. There are 3 hascaps in here, which, think they've died and gone to heaven or moved to the tropics, because those things are native to the Arctic tundra, so they certainly don't need protecting from the winter weather. And these pots this size, those are new that I plan to grow some potatoes in next year. A couple of seed potatoes in each one and see if it does better than in the grow pots that I use. And these are the cherry bushes or shrubs. Romance series. I remember one of them is called Romeo, one's called Juliet, and I can't think of what the third one might be. There are 3 here in a row. And they're very hardy. There's no problem with winter hardiness. And that's why I've left the top open. I just wrapped the sides with plastic. Started by putting some of that blue duct tape stuff, but I didn't think it was sticking very well. So you can see the clearer, lightly green stuff there. That's a greenhouse repair tape, but once that sticks, does not come off again. So I know it won't fall apart anyway. But you see the size of this. I've had that for 2 years, and it's done a lot of growing. And the same way with this one here. It's grown quite a bit in 2 years. This is the one up here that interests me. Now, the rabbits last year ate this right down to ground level. And all of that growth that you see down in there, and it's coming up above these are old square wire tomato cages, by the way. I keep them around them all summer, so I won't step on the shrub when I'm going by and destroy it until it gets big enough. But all that growth it did this one summer, so it caught up to the other 2 in one growing season, I suppose, because it also had a well-established root system to work with. But it certainly did a lot of growing this summer. And the furthest one up on the end from me now, I can't recall what the name of it is, but it had blossoms last year but didn't produce any cherries, so fingers crossed that there might be some cherries this coming year. And I don't know if I said or not, but the pots that I'm planning to grow the potatoes in have the Saskatoon berry bushes under them. They're very small. If the rabbits got to those, it wouldn't take long to nibble them right to the ground. They're at best 8-10 inches tall. So that's a look at my strange winterized garden. I'm still trying to prove to myself that the solar system is charging the battery at this time of year. This is December 6th. I posted that previous video a day or 2 ago. And I've been advised by several people that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I have no problem with that because I fully agree with you. I have no clue what I'm talking about when it comes to this sort of thing. But the fact that the charger was saying 13.8, I think, was the highest it went in volts, I guess that does not mean that it was charging. That's just the charge that's in the battery, and it probably wasn't adding anything additional to it. So what I have done is about 18-20 hours ago, I turned on both lights out here, and they've been on all night, and that has lowered the battery to 11.6 volts. So I'm going to shut the lights off now and see how many days it takes it to put the charge back up to, well, over 12 anyway, up to 13. If it's actually charging. Right now it's a cloudy morning and it's very early. The sun's just barely up, so nothing much is happening out there yet. But I'll shut the lights off and leave it alone and come back in a day or so and see if it is adding any additional charge. And from what I have if I read this or if I watched it on something on YouTube, you shouldn't let the charge go below 11.5. So fortunately enough, overnight it only went to 11.6. And like that also proves, I guess, that if the battery is charged up to over 13 volts or whatever, I don't have to worry about using it with both lights. It's not going to, it isn't going to deplete the battery by me using the lights for 4 or 5 hours in the evening out here. So we will see what happens in a few days' time. Here we are back with the solder again. It's almost 2 weeks later, I guess, from when I did that running down of the battery. Since then, I have used the lights in here, I think once. I came out, it was a chilly day, and I came out and had a fire here and did some reading and whatever. I think I had the lights on for about 4 hours, so that did drain it down a bit. But it's gone from the previous reading of, I'm not certain now, I think that was 11.6, and it is 12.8 right now. The sun isn't on it directly yet, although it must be shining on you a bit. There was some frost looking out the window out there. There was some frost on it earlier, and I see that's melting and running down it. But anyway, that does prove that it is charging, I guess. It has brought it back up to a good reading for a 12-volt battery, 12.8. And like I say, I don't use it all that much. I'll be out here a few times this winter for a few hours each time, or to stay overnight and just use the lights in the evening type thing. So I'm now confident that it will do what I want it to do. It'll run the lights for me, and it is charging even though I can't see where the sun would go much lower, considering that the summer solstice, the winter solstice is only a few days off. There wouldn't be much difference in the sun, and then it will start to improve. So that is that little piece of information for you, and thank you very much for watching this video, and congratulations once again, Morris, on being the lucky winner, not winter, winner.